because I didn't know where TJ was, with his presentation and the kits. So
Thank you.
I had some extra, resin cars, and if he was short of them, I was gonna donate them, but they're older kits than what he's getting. They don't come with trucks and things, so there's more work.
So these are resin cars as well?
These are resin cars.
Okay, cool.
And why I have resin cars, why I brought this for show and tell, was because of the resin car presentation. A number of years ago, Scott Pandorf was, part of our operating group. And over the years, as we got more people in the operating group, I had to find more trains for people to run. So I came up with a maintenance sway train. And I had some flat cars and guns and things, and I kind of put them together. And I can't remember who it was, but some manufacturer had a styrene model of a maintenance away car. It was painted silver, it was a Santa Fe car. So I purchased it and threw that in the mix, right? Well, the first time Scott operated on my layout, when I had this maintenance train, he pointed out to me that the reporting marks were not correct for the era that I was modeling. They're very knowledgeable. Plus, he had good eyesight. I didn't even look where you're talking about.
He a Santa Fe guy.
Marker, what is that, right?
Scott, no, he had, what was the name of his road? Scott's Road? Mississippi.
Ohio, Mississippi.
Yeah, it was a made up one, right?
Yeah, but he was really knowledgeable. So, in almost serendipity, this company, which he had mentioned, is Sunshine Model. And I think I'm going to say this is probably 10 years ago, maybe Scott's era. I belong to the Santa Fe Modelers Association Club, and they do a nice newsletter, quarterly newsletter. And in that next newsletter, they advertised this from Sunshine, which is specific. That's one of the things TJ talked about. One of the advantages of the resin models is you can get something specific to your railroad or era. So that's what these were. And I think there was 9 cars, and I built 5 of them because that's what I needed, and that's what I run as a maintenance train. This is a Santa Fe calls for cabooses, weight cars, and that's the end of the work train. That's a weight car for the work train. And they didn't paint them gray or silver in that era. They were still painted in a mineral red. And of course it's weathered. But as I was telling you, I think one of the big advantages to doing these, because they are a lot of work, and you're going to learn a lot of different skills. And, I'm sure your skills are better than my skills if you really took a good look at this. This does not have any underbody.
Right.
I skipped that because nobody sees it in the layout, but it was a contest model. It should have been done.
Yeah.
But doing these and finishing them, it's very satisfying. So as opposed to, you can buy stuff today that's off the shelf Katie box cars, like I said, which are, they're beautiful, but you put them on, maybe you weather them and they run. So it's just part of the hobby that I think gives you a lot of self-satisfaction. So and just as a note, with Sunshine, and again, these are older, so I don't know what you said. They're not even in business anymore.
No, he died.
He died.
The gentleman died, I'm gonna guess 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because these are all mom and pop operations.
Yep.
And I don't know, if Athearn or somebody runs kits. I don't know what, the styrene stuff. I don't know what kind of volumes they run. And I thought this one, I noticed on the box, they actually had made 400 of these kits.
Okay.
It's probably that figured there was that many Santa Fe modelers belong to the club, But what you would get with it is a description of the particular cars, for research purposes, and then and TJ mentioned instructions. And again, I'm sure every manufacturer is different. You said it was pretty good. Sunshine at the time, you got this, I don't know how many pages, 7, 8 pages, and it covers some of the cars, but it covers them almost generically.
Right.
So you end up doing a lot of reading between the lines to figure out, the specific one. Well, how the hell did I do that part and whatnot? So again, that's part of the, I think, like I said, the satisfaction. So I'll leave this here. I don't want to pass it around because they're fragile.
Right, yeah.
They're fragile, and it's weathered and, somehow poorly. But
Mhm.
if anybody wants to take a look at it, so.
Now, is there end of lighting? The lights?
The marker lights? Oh,
Marker
yeah,
lights?
bring that up.
Is that available?
I just had to go through this with David, right? No, the marker lamps did not come with it. And I don't know how many the operator might lay out, half a dozen to a dozen cabooses and they didn't have marker lights. It drove me nuts, right?
Mhm.
So I looked into actually getting marker lamps that would work. And at the time you could buy castings, you had to drill them out, you had to wire them, and then you had pickups for the trucks and yada yada.
Right.
And it was just hobbies within a hobby that I wasn't interested in doing. So I just got these and I used a little drop of,
Mhm.
I think I used, super glue, drops and then just
Drop
painted
the
them.
CA and paint it.
Yeah, and paint them, they're fine. And a side light is what end do you put them on? Because marker lamps could be removed depending which way a car was going, because they want to be on the ass end. And I put them. This is maybe the designer in me. I think that when you have a caboose, the cupola, if it's not centered, should always be to the rear, which is not true in the real world. It's got nothing to do with it, but that's the way I think, right? So all my marker lamps are on that end of the cabooses, and so I try to make them sure they run at least one way that way. Classic one something, what is it? Classic, it's a fairly new company. Just came out with Santa Fe way cars. And because a lot of those were actually built like in the 30s and right into the 60s and 70s. And they were modified, like you said, different trucks, over time. But these come with operating marker lamps. So rather than go through the effort myself, I actually bought one, and it's on the wrong end of the car though. It's on, it just, I don't know why they did that. So we're gonna have to run that one backwards in my mind. The only problem I have with that is the red lamp, the tail end lamp is about the right intensity, but the side lamps, the yellow and to the four leading part of the lamp, they're yellow, and they are so bright. Anybody got a suggestion I can tone those down? I haven't found anything, markers or anything that I can tone down with it. That works.
To my paint, did you try that?
No, I actually haven't gone to paint yet. That would be Tamaya.
The translucent Tamaya.
Oh, okay, that might
Either
be
yellow mixed some with maybe some red.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, that's probably gonna happen. They're just way too bright, way too bright. So
You
anyway,
might also think about the weathering thing that you've got. We've got the Indian ink and alcohol.
I tried that. I tried different markers. Nothing.
What size LED? You know what size LEDs in
Are in them? No, I don't. I mean, what would fit in that? That's about.
04 hole.
That's probably this.
Or
That's the
04
size
too.
right there.
Yeah, would fit. I mean, you could also do it with the tone it down with the resistor. But then your other side's gonna be a little bit dim.
Yeah, and then you have to pull the car apart. I don't know how those are constructed. I haven't even thought of that because they do have a capacitor in it too.
Yeah, that's so you got constant power.
Yeah. So, any questions? That's my very
What's the
I'll
name
leave
of
this
the
up
company?
if you want to look at it.
What's the name of the company again?
Pardon?
What was the name of the company that built it?
This was Sunshine.
Sunshine, okay.
And I had started to pass this around. This was a Westerfield that I had bought a long time ago because it's called a Caswell gondola. Santa Fe didn't early on, like the 30s, and so they instead of hoppers for coal movement, they used Caswell gons, and nobody made them at the time except again something specific. And I found one of these. I would need a lot more, but that was the part I was passing around, the resin kit. And the reason I never built this is before I got around to it, cutting these little pieces out. And then I use needle files for a lot of that work. Intermountain came out with already ready to run Caswell guns. They're beautiful. I mean, they're really nicely detailed, easy to break the brake cams.
When you're taking that kind of thing apart, though, you gotta make sure you don't get involved with a ping tink theory.
The what?
Ping tink. It's not Chinese. It's where you're on there very carefully with your X-Acto, oh so carefully cutting, and it goes ping, and then somewhere out there,
Shoots off.
it goes tink.
That's so true.
I hate that problem cutting stained glass.
Yeah, well, there is that.
Glass work, okay? And cutting a piece of glass and then trying to make some trillium and stuff like that. Cut swipe, cut one side, snap it off, cut the next side, snap it off, cut the next side, oh shit, throw it away.
Like TJ mentioned, if you're going to clean the parts, make sure over just taking this out of the box from there, bring it up here to pass it around. two parts broke off. I found them back on the floor, so, yeah, that stuff's pretty fragile.
I had a little bit of flashing over here
Well,
somewhere.
you can keep that. It's all yours. All right, any questions?
Good,
That's it.
good.
I'll leave this up here if you want to take a look at it.
10:30.